Hello and welcome to Jumpin' Johnny Gaming Retro Walkthroughs. This Final Fantasy V Pixel Remastered video is the fourth part of the 100% walkthrough. This video series will cover everything you need to do in the game to get every achievement or trophy. We will be getting a few more jobs and attempt to rescue the third crystal. Return to Castle Walsh and go to the throne room, and then go through the top right door to go into the King's Chambers to have a conversation with the King. Exit the castle, head up, and enter the meteorite this time. Follow the linear path and use the warp to teleport to another meteorite in a different area of the map, and then exit that meteor. Two new enemies you can face in this area is the Ager, which appeared in Final Fantasy III. It has an attack that causes the Old status in a party member. Old is a new status that causes the party member's stats to slowly go down to 1. You can cure Old, but the stats don't come back until the end of a battle. The other enemy is Grass Tortoise. They are weak enemies that attack physically. They drop turtle shells. There is a lot of items the enemy drops that are used for the upcoming chemist job, exclusively to be used for mixing. Your next destination is in the middle of the new continent. Head up and you will see some forest and mountains. Head through the opening in the mountains to the left and head down to get to a town and a castle. A new enemy you can face in this area is Wild Knack. They always come in group of 5s, and the Monk's Kick and Black Mage fire spells are effective. You can learn a blue mage spell called Question Mark, so wait until that hits your blue mage before you defeat them. There is one more enemy to get in this area, which is the Zoo, which has high HP that made its debut in Final Fantasy IV. Enter the town of Karnak and go to a weapon shop. You will only be able to pick one weapon at a discounted price before you get arrested and the prices go back up. I prefer the sword for the warrior job. Head down to the cell door, and after the cutscene, exit through the door at the top right. Exit the castle, pretty straightforward. Follow the linear path until the entrance and head down and exit. Go back to the town and do some shopping. New magic you will want to buy is Cure, a stronger version of the Cure spell, Raise, which resurrects a KO'd character, Confuse, which confuses an enemy, is optional. Buy the stronger versions of the main 3 elemental spells, and Poison is handy, and then buy the 2 time magic spells. Gravity is a strong spell, able to cut an enemy's HP in half, and Stop, which can freeze an enemy so they can't attack. Exit the town, and we are now going to get a powerful optional summon monster. Return to the Karnak meteorite to travel to the Walsh meteorite. Fly down to Castle Walsh. We are going to get an optional summon, which is a mystical bestiary entry. Enter the castle, and on floor 2, head to the bottom right stairway. Exit through the bottom right door, and then head to the water, and then up through the waterfall. Follow the linear path until you get to the 4th floor. All random encounters will be enemies you will have faced before. Then go around to the glowing light in the middle of the floor. This is a boss fight, so make sure you are healed up. You will have 3 ice commanders, stronger versions of the ice soldier, and the summon Shiva. Use AoE attacks, I used Monk's Kick, and of course these enemies are weak against fire. Also the ice commanders are weak against Pon's Chorus, which will make things a lot easier. Shiva, who made her debut in Final Fantasy III and appeared in Final Fantasy IV, this is her first time as a boss. She can cast ice magic to the whole party, so make sure you have a healer healing any damage. Exit the castle, still a few stuff to do in the castle, but we still need to be stronger, and head to the Karnak area through the meteors. Head to the fire ship that's in the water. That's the next dungeon. For 100% completion, we're going to get all the bestiary and chests in the dungeon, but before the boss fight, heading back through the dungeon to get a blue magic spell and the option to get more job abilities needed to get through the highly missable section with a time limit portion of the game. Enter the ship through the door by Sid and follow the linear path until you get to the engine room. Head up through the nearest door for a chest. An enemy you can face in the dungeon is the Defeater, a weak enemy, and if it's just one or the last one in a group, when you defeat it, it will summon 2 motor traps. These enemies can use a move which will put stop on a party member. It is weak against lightning. If you use lightning, then it will use a move called self-destruct, which kills it and does heavy damage to the party. It is a blue mage spell that can be learnt, which I will do later on in the video. Head up the stairs at the bottom left, then get the chest on the other end of the mess floor. A new enemy you can face is the Poltergeist, which will use the move Lick, which will confuse a party member. They are weak against wind, water and healing. Go back to the engine room. Another new enemy you can face in the dungeon is crew dusts. These are weak against ice, wind and water. If there is one left, it will use Flash, a blue magic spell, in case you missed it earlier. Get the chest at the top left corner and then head to the right hand side and go down the stairs and get another chest. Go back to the engine room and head through the door at the top. Activate the lift and on the next floor get the chest that's to the right. Exit through the top door, down the lift, then head up and go through the vent and follow the linear path. Head through the door in front of you, up the lift, through the middle door, and down the lift. Head right through the vent, follow the linear vents, and you'll get a chest containing good headwear. Head through the door to the right, up the lift and go down the third vent at the bottom and you will land next to a chest. Go back through the vent at the top and follow it around again. Go through the door straight ahead and go up the lift. Go down the second vent, head up the steps on the top right and go up and hit the switch and get the chest to get a moonring blade, a good weapon for a thief or a ninja. Exit back to the previous room and go through the door and then the left door and you will be in a save room. Head through the top door. This room you have to hit the switches to navigate to the exit. The exit will be a boss fight, so we just want to get the last treasure of the dungeon. Go up and hit the switch to get taken to the top section. The next switch allows you to access the treasure, and the bottom left switch will take you to the right hand side of the room. Hit the first switch of the two, then the top of the two switches at the bottom to get the platforms to you. Then go on the platform and press the switch to get the chest, and then exit the fire ship if you want to heal up in the town and level up some jobs and get a blue magic. So trace your steps back or skip forwards to the boss fight. First, I'm going to get the self-destruct blue magic. I changed all my jobs to the blue mage, as it's random who it hits. We need to fight a defender, so the motor traps show up, and they turn up best in the room above the engine room. Some job skills that will be handy to add to your existing characters if you haven't done already. You will need Black Magic level 3 from the Black Mage job, Spellblade level 4 from the Mystic Knight, Summon level 3 from the Summoning job. When you are putting different jobs and characters, try to mix physical and magic jobs so your party is strong in both, and not just restricted to being a physical or magic user. You can turn up the ABB you can get from battles to ×4 in the options to quicken grinding too long, and make a separate save just in case you don't do anything from the Karnak Castle. When you feel like you're ready, back at the room with the switches and moving platforms, exit to the top right. Head up to the boss. This boss attacks in 3 different forms. As its flame, it's very weak against ice. When it does its hand form, don't use any ice as it's immune. It will counter any attack, so take your time in attacking to ensure ice doesn't hit when in its hand form, and don't do any weak attacks. Heal up often and use to summon Shiva, any ice magic from Black Magic, and ice on your weapon by using Spellblade. Head up in the crystal room to get another cutscene, and then the next sequence is to escape Karnak Castle in 10 minutes, and there is 15 treasure chests and 4 enemies for the bestiary to get. Immediately head down and heal from the pot if needed, then go back to the save room and make a separate save file, as you might have to do this section a bit faster, and you want to escape through the entrance of the castle in about 8 minutes, so you have time to spare to reveal a secret boss for the bestiary. Time stops when you're on the menu and world map. Head up and to the right is the first chest, then go all the way to the right hand side and get a second chest. Most of the chests are guarded by enemies. 3 out of the 4 bestiary enemies you will get by the chests. The first enemy you can face is the Gygus, an enemy that first appeared in the original Final Fantasy. It will use Aero Magic, which is a blue mage spell, but don't go out of your way to get it. We can get it later. Use your most powerful physical and magical attacks on all enemies you encounter, and don't be afraid to either use ethers or elixirs to top up your MP. Exit to the next floor at the top right door. In the top right corner is a chest containing a shuriken. Like the previous 2 games, keep the shurikens for bosses. These are thrown by ninjas. There is a chest on the opposite side which contains a ribbon. They are different than normal ribbons. These are headgear for dancers. 2 new enemies you can face as Karnaks, weak enemies, and sergeants that will run off if you defeat all the Karnaks. Exit at the top, then go down and through the door. Head up and go up the stairs, then through the top left and get the nearby chest. Head up the stairs to the top left. Follow the linear path, make sure you are running. At the end you'll get a chest with a good magic user accessory. Exit back to the castle area with the chests that are opened, and in the top right corner is a chest with a new enemy to battle, the Sorcerer. It made its debut in Final Fantasy II and last appeared in Final Fantasy IV. They are weak, but they are capable of casting Confuse and Toad. Head down and by the bottom door is a chest, and then exit through that door. Head through the right hand side door and there is 2 closed chests to open nearby. Head up to the top section to get another 2 chests. Head up the stairs at the top right and run down the linear path to get a chest. Backtrack to inside the castle and go through the bottom door, then the left door. Then head up and go down the door at the top left to get back to the main entrance to the castle, and then head down through the big brown doors, and to the left and right is a chest to open. Lightning scrolls are objects that ninjas can throw. Exit through the bottom door. Now when you exit the castle, you'll get a mandatory battle with 3 Karnaks and a sergeant, which you would have had plenty of times before, but the sergeant is not who it seems to be. So defeat the Karnaks first and wait for the sergeant to turn into the Iron Claw, a weak enemy and the only time you can get it for the bestiary. It is weak against Pon's Chorus, and you can learn the blue magic Death Claw, but again we can learn it later on in the game. After escaping, you will get 3 more jobs from the Fire Crystal. A new job called Beastmaster, and a handy one you'll want to get the control ability, as you will need to control enemies to use certain blue magic spells. They use knives and whips. Like Pokemon, they can capture enemies that are low on HP, which can be released in battle, and they usually do their most powerful attacks against enemies. They can also calm enemies, which is the same as the stop spell. The Geomancer job, which made its debut in Final Fantasy III, they are terrain-based fighters, and their random attacks are based on what terrain they are on, and they can avoid dangerous terrain in some dungeons. They use bells as weapons. And an original Final Fantasy job, the Ninja, which eventually you want all your party members to max out the Ninja job, they can dual wield and throw items. If you like this video, subscribe to my channel, where there are more complete retro walkthroughs plus achievement and trophy guides, secrets and tips from the latest releases. Thanks for watching.